All of you know the saying that for every 2 Jews, there are 3 opinions. And it's true, because there's many different kinds of Jews. There's secular, and there's religious, there's traditional, and there's modern, Orthodox and conservative, and Reform and Reconstructionist, and left-wing and right-wing, young, old, rich, poor. So how can any of us bridge the gaps that shape our worldviews? How can any one of us, amid all this disunity, create a more unified Jewish community? So that's what I want to discuss with you today. I want to share with you the 7 habits of highly united Jews. I want to share with you that despite all this disunity, we could live, we could flourish as Ish Echad B'Lev Echad, one people, with one heart. Let's get started. Habit number 1, expand your definition of us. 2 students may be in class together and they may dislike each other. But if they're on the same basketball team, facing the same opponent, they learn to cooperate. They cheer for each other's success. And this is true in so many areas of life. And so when we expand our definition of us, when we recognize how many people fit in our community, we create Jewish unity. When I moved to New York from Cincinnati, I was asked by a close friend, how big is the Jewish community in Cincinnati? And I said about 27,000 people. He said, no, what I really meant was, how big is the frum, the religious community in Cincinnati? So on some level, it was an interesting question. What he really wanted to know was how many people he'd feel comfortable visiting or inviting into his home, eating with and learning with and going to synagogue with, who shared his underlying values and assumptions. But it was also a point of clarity about how narrowly we can define our community. So what we must do is expand our definition of us. Do we recognize that we're all children of Israel? We're all one family, one community? By simply expanding our definition of us, who fits into our community, we create a stronger, more vibrant, more unified Jewish community, and we increase our value within the Jewish community. But this can't be just a mental trick. This has to be woven into the very fabric of our lives. And so we must teach this as a value. Habit number 2, teach shared values, then discuss the particulars. We're all in a position to teach. The sages tell us that he who teaches a child is as if he had created it. We have a special responsibility then to teach the next generation. But the question is, what do we teach? Do we make it a habit to teach Jewish unity? We can, and we must. Let's consider what we have in common. We're all mandated to act with common decency, with derech eretz, to improve the world around us, tikkun olam. We fight for justice. We value family. We celebrate the holidays together. The Sabbath is universally acknowledged as our day of rest, even by people who may not observe it religiously. We share Jewish jokes, Jewish history, Jewish food recipes. All of us value education and honesty and hard work and charity, visiting the sick and avoiding slander and gossip, and doing acts of kindness and caring for the widow and orphan. These values may apply universally, but they are bedrock Jewish values, and they cut across denominational boundaries. Religious and secular and all kinds of Jews could share in these aspects of our heritage precisely because they are our shared heritage. And so this is what we must teach as the core of every Jewish curriculum, so that when then students learn what makes their particular stream of Judaism unique, there's a tacit understanding that it all emerges from the same core. Okay, so we've talked enough about us. Now let's talk about them. Habit number 3, define the right them. If there's one thing that brings people together, it's a them, a common foe. 2 students in class. This is true in many areas of life. A shared adversary makes cooperation paramount and highlights the cost of disunity. The key then is to recognize who our true adversaries are. We may speak of them, the religious Jews, or them, the secular Jews, them, the liberal Jews, or them, the Orthodox Jews, but our real enemies, the real them, rarely make distinctions between us. To them, we are all Jews. We are all one. So can it be that they understand our unity, our oneness, better than we do? We often share challenges. So the real they is often those shared challenges. We just witnessed the destructive power of Hurricane Sandy. It didn't make ideological distinctions among its victims, but I'm proud to say that we united as a community and we met this shared challenge. People from all over. I'll give you one example. From Washington, D.C., communities and synagogues joined together and sent an 18-wheeler truck full of urgent supplies to New York as part of the relief effort. With them came 2 buses full of high school students. People opened up their homes to complete strangers with whom they shared just one link: Jewish identity. We know how to band together in our time of need. Let's do it more often. Let's do it as a matter of habit. Let's not wait for disasters or external threats to force us together. Let's do it proactively. Habit number 4, proactively discover and work on common goals. I'll never forget this. My first week in New York, I went to see the Israel Day Parade. 35,000 marchers were accompanied by 18 marching bands in one of the largest celebrations of Israel in the world. More than 200 organizations linked hands, worked together to make this incredible display of unity a success. By and large, support for Israel, support for a strong and vibrant Israel at peace with its neighbors remains a communal goal and an opportunity for unity, even when we disagree on the particulars. So let's take this spirit of cooperation and apply it on so many other community projects. So the next time you're thinking of a community cleanup project, or a day to visit the sick, or a Jewish educational program, or assistance to the poor and elderly, or a Jewish celebration, consider these all opportunities to reach out to other Jews, to go and to participate together with other Jews. Consider these opportunities for Jewish unity. Now, cooperation doesn't happen in a vacuum. Just like in the office, you need the formal boardroom and the informal water cooler, we need formal and informal shared spaces where shared acts can become the basis of Jewish unity. An incredible story happened in New Orleans after the last great storm, Hurricane Katrina. When an Orthodox synagogue was destroyed in the flood, a Reformed temple stepped in to offer a temporary home. This year, the Orthodox synagogue was rebuilt in its permanent location right next to the Reformed temple, and between them now stands a playground where all the children play together, a living symbol of Jewish unity. Let's apply the spirit of cooperation to things we do every day, to basketball games and softball leagues, or a community picnic. Now, perhaps the most important space we could share, however, is our homes. Shabbat dinners have exploded in popularity across this country, not as a religious phenomenon, but as a social one, as more and more people realize what an incredible opportunity it is to share their stories with other Jews, to build lasting friendships. So let's make it a habit, perhaps even a weekly habit, to share common space, even if that space is in our homes. Now, we Jews, we're a giving people, and therefore we must give and receive together. Habit number 6. We learn in Ethics of Our Fathers that deeds of giving are the very foundations of this world, and so we must give to other Jews, to all kinds of Jews. Let me ask you, how many of us felt a sense of pride knowing that so many Nobel Prize winners are Jewish? How many of us felt a sense of unease when the Bernie Madoff scandal broke out? Why is that? It's because we instinctively know that we rise together and we fall together, that whether we like it or not, we're all in the same boat. And that means we have to help each other, give to each other, give to fellow Jews, to all kinds of Jews. Let's make it a habit. I'm not under the illusion that we're going to solve all our differences today. But that's not the point. The point is to focus on what we share. We all move in different circles. It's up to you and me, each and every one of us, to find out how those circles overlap and create opportunities for unity. There's no limit to what you can do if you get into the habit of saying, it's up to me. So I ask you, can we expand our definition of us, who fits into our community? Yes. Can we teach this value to our children? Yes. Can we focus on who the real enemies are? Yes. Can we work on common goals? Yes. Can we create shared spaces for all kinds of Jews, including in our homes? Yes. Can we give and receive together? Yes. And can we take this upon ourselves as a personal responsibility? Can each and every one of us say, it's up to me to make this happen? The answer must be a resounding yes. So don't wait for the Spirit to move you. That's not who we are. Take action. Make it a habit to take action, and the feelings of unity will come. So I thank you for coming together today. Let's make it a habit to come together more often. Thank you.